Destiny, Taken King, the Dark Drinker, PvE weapon review. Anyway, the Dark Drinker is the Void Sword I got last video. Now go ahead and check it out if you want. But anyway, the Dark Drinker is the Void Exotic Sword. It's pretty good for PvE, pretty funny to see it in PvP, but anyway, let's get on to the set of perks. Obviously, it has Sword Strike and Void Forged Guard, and Tempered Light. Then it has Scabbard, but then Die by the Sword. Kills by the sword, with the sword, replenish grenade energy. So, just run into a horde, do your supermassive vortex attack, which is press the trigger once, and yeah, that would happen. AKA the most famous sword attack in Zelda, the spin attack. It's funny to see it in Destiny. Yeah. And then you have another Scabbard or Warrior of Light. Increase the damage of your RT attack. Other words, increase the damage of the spin attack or supermassive vortex attack. Whatever you want to call it. If you're a Zelda fan, might as well call it the spin attack. Yeah. Anyway, the Dark Drinker is pretty good for PvE because the spin attack itself, because it can just eat a mob of low-level guys for lunch or breakfast or supper, because like sometimes it can even one spin majors, but that's not what it is for. It's mostly for crowd control. And then comes like comparisons to the other swords. Well, the Boltcaster just about does the same thing, except for it's worse at taking down mobs, but it's better at DPS in the way, like, it doesn't do, like, it mirrors the damage that the Dark Drinker does. It's just that you can fling the blade on the Boltcaster and be a little bit safer than running right into the boss's face. Yeah. And then, to the Raise Lighter, which is the max DPS sword. Well, this thing, the DPS doesn't really come close, but at least if there's like tons of enemies around the target, you can also take those guys out too. While the Raise Lighter, well, you can, like, if you're high enough light, you can one-shot a Nightfall Flare. Yeah, you can one-shot him. Or one uppercut. Whatever. And, anyway, the Dark Drinker is a pretty cool sword, worth getting, because it's also a pretty key component on getting the Black Spindle Sniper, because it's so good at taking on hordes. And another thing which is kind of a weakness, ammo. That's why you need both of those scabbards on just about 24/7, because, well, ammo is finite, even on a melee weapon in this game, because, well, the blade flings off. Yeah, when you spin a spin attack, you waste 5 swipes instead of the normal 1. And in PvE, I don't really like blocking much, because sometimes I run into a time where there's 3 million enemies shooting at me, and then I just lose my sword. And yeah. Anyway, if the Void Burn is back on, I think this might be kind of comparable to the DPS of the Raise Lighter. But other than that, it's all around good. It's good for DPS, but then also you can hang out and take out all the ads that are bugging your other teammates while they're trying to do DPS, aka damage per second. And yeah, it's nice to have a cloak. But one thing, before you know it, after playing around with this sword, you'll just find yourself just leaping head first into 3 million enemies with your sword only, and absolutely annihilating them. This is how good this sword is. On the other hand, the aesthetics look awesome. Like, the blade is like like a cutlass at the very tip, and it's like a huge width of a sword. And it's got that cool carving on it, which makes it like medieval, like, kind of like the Master Sword. I'm putting more and more references to Zelda just because of the spin attack. Pop the 3 coins. And yeah. Anyway, this is pretty good for taking out hordes. The one thing is for sure that the animation is even cool too, because it's not even a spin attack. It's like he slices like the Flash. But anyway, smack that like button, hit the sub, drop the comment, and I'll see you guys in a new video.